Okay, so I'm making this video because this is urgent. This is what I was told to say, and I need to get it out there. I know in my previous videos I talked about how I had an NDE and I saw God, and there wasn't much I could remember except for, the little details that he let me remember. And he had told me that he was going to take away the memory of a lot of the things that I saw there because until a given time, or I don't even know until when, but I just figured I wouldn't remember anything till I saw him again. But the other night, it was clear about 2 nights ago, and I feel a little disobedient for just holding on to it for so long. But a couple nights ago, I had, it was a dream, but it really terrified me, and this is the first time in over 10 years that I remembered anything else from my vision. And the image I saw in my vision, not the vision, sorry, my NDE. Since I remembered anything from my NDE, which is, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I mean, I'm assuming that a lot of people who would even watch this video would understand or have watched other testimonies about near-death experiences that, others have had with dying and others seeing Jesus, or, some people see how whatever they see. But in my instance, I was in front of God in his throne room. And so anyways, I had a dream the other night, and in this dream it was a terrifying flash of one of the images I saw from being in heaven and being in the throne room. And it is hard to describe, but it was a terrifying image of a memorial that had Jesus in the memorial, made of pure gold, and his arms were stretched out on a cross. And that is one thing, like, I always question, because I wasn't exactly sure from the different accounts that I've heard that it could have been a stake and straight up and down, or a cross. So I was like one of those people who weren't even sure. But until I saw this this memorial that I had seen in heaven, and a flash of it came to me at night when I was midway sleep, and it was terrifying. It was of Jesus on the cross, like with his arms out and his chest out, and he wasn't a skinny man. He was like like some artists depict him as like very thin and frail at the time of his crucifixion, but that's absolutely not what the memorial was. And the thing about the memorial that was terrifying, it was pure gold, like gold that I've never seen ever on earth. Like, the purity was like, you can just tell that was the purest gold that man has ever laid their eyes on. It was so terrifying. And there were like little designs, swirls. Like, if you look up Golden Cathedral, you'll see like kind of like medieval kind of art, where the inside of the cathedrals, where they just had whimsical pieces of like flowers and so forth, or leaves, and it was just around his body, like laid up around his head body. And nevertheless, it was terrifying, because the thing about it is, like, in heaven it was a memorial, but it's like on this earth human beings can't fathom what a memorial is. Like, when I say memorial, like, I don't say statue. Like, when I told my sister this, she said a statue, and I said no, it wasn't a statue, it was a memorial. And so she's like, well, why would that be terrifying? And I was like, well, you just don't understand that it was terrifying because a memorial in heaven is not a statue. Like, everything in heaven is alive, like life. Everything, there's no death in heaven. It has life to it. It has a lively, like, I can't even describe it. That's how indescribable it is. But there's nothing dead in heaven. So the memorial, it's just not describable to our human comprehension. It doesn't make any sense right now, what I'm saying to you, probably, but that isn't the part that I was told to, I don't know, wait, I guess I don't want to say that I wasn't told to tell it, because I'm thinking that I wouldn't even remember it if it wasn't significant. But he showed himself on a cross, like, he showed the memorial of himself on a cross, which is a picture in heaven, which is a memorial in heaven. And I don't want to say picture either, it's still say memorial. But the part that was shouted to me very sternly was, tell them that I'm bringing a sword. Then he said, there is no one. He said, there is no one to tell them. Tell them that I'm bringing a sword. And he screamed it like there was such, it's not even right to say he screamed it, but he said it with such anger. There was so much sternness in his voice, and there was anger, but not earthly anger, like righteous anger. Like, that's how I could describe it. Sorry, but yeah, he said it was so much righteous anger that I wasn't even, like, I couldn't even be frightened. That's how much righteousness was in his anger. But I don't even want to interpret the dream, because God said it, like, plainly. He said, there is no one to tell. And he said that he's bringing a sword. And to tell them, he said, tell them I am bringing a sword. Yeah. So this is a video that I'm making to tell you. And then since then I don't know why I'm adding my own little commentary, but there's videos who begin to talk about the wrath of God, and they don't, it always ends on a note where it's what people want to hear. So I'm not gonna do that, because he told me, he said there's no one. There's no one. And so I don't want to be another person that God is speaking to and that doesn't obey. So, just gonna end the video.